Welcome to Down South Football Podcast, man. We're here on this great Monday, man. So much going on in the world today, man. We had a lot of news drop today, so we had to bring our boy in, Phillip Dukes at Duke the Scoop, man, so we can go ahead and talk about it. We had one that's coming in and one that's going out. So,
hey, what you talking about?
We want to talk about Brian Harsin going out. We're talking about Cohen coming in as an athletic director, but everybody wants to know, man. Tell us about the Brian Harsin saga, man. How did we get to this point?
Well, Brian Harsin was never a good fit at Auburn, and I think Brian Harsin being hired was a product of necessity more so than I guess I would say choice. So Alan Green was put in a really, really tough position, man, and Alan Green, who was pretty much reared as an athletic director by the first family of athletic directors, the White family. I hate to, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
But yeah, like Alan Green came up on the good stock, and what Alan Green did, in my opinion, was walk so somebody else could run. So what he did was stood up to the boosters at a time when it wasn't cool and nobody else had done that at the athletic department, at the athletic director level. And so the way we got here was that the boosters pretty much already had their guy. He wasn't going to hire him. So he didn't hire their guy. And so then everybody who was interviewed from that point was kind of leaned on a little bit, where it made it where it was like, Brent Venables was like, that's a little weird over there. Billy Napier was like, nah, I'll wait. You got to think, Billy Napier chose to go back to Louisiana over Auburn.
Yep.
Like that. I mean, and a lot of that's pretty much common knowledge at this time. We haven't heard Billy Napier say it, but people who are being really close to him have let everybody know, like, nah, they got some dysfunction over there. So by the time Alan Green gets to the point where you interview a Napier, you interview a Venables, you send the kite out to Tony Elliott, like, who ended up taking Virginia, like, which is in no way, shape, or form better than the Auburn job, unless they had better infrastructure.
Right.
So infrastructure got to the point so bad at Auburn that people didn't want the job. So Alan Green said, you know what, I'm gonna get and this is my opinion about the situation, but Alan Green goes into it and says, you know what, I'm gonna get a me kind of guy. And when I say by a me kind of guy, it's like, if I don't feel good about it, I ain't doing it. And that's how Brian Harsin was hired. And you can't hire nobody over a Zoom interview, dog. Like, it's hard. I know it was COVID. I know all that was going on, but man, come on, dog. That ain't how you do that. So you bring in a guy who's not a perfect fit, and then you expect for him to fit in. So a square will never be able to fit inside a circle. And I don't care how bad you force it. I don't care how much you push it. I don't care if you get a bat and you try to slam it in there, still ain't gonna fit, bro. And I think that's what we had here. We had an Idaho potato.
No pun. No pun again.
Definite pun. Absolutely a pun.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but so he ain't realized, like, this Golden Flake territory.
Yeah.
Every kind of chip you want now, he'll get you in 18 months. Hey, my boy, that sweet heat right now. Like, y'all know about that sweet heat, man.
That's going.
That's nice right there.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like, just to be serious about the situation, he was never a fit here, fit at Auburn, and it's really telling the statement that the Auburn administration put out, President Roberts and his staff put out today, not even mentioning a thank you for Brian Harsin's service in that statement. Right. It was just like, hey, man, we got to make a change. I don't know what happened, but hey, man, this ain't it, home.
Yeah.
That's how that went. But yeah, man, I just don't think he ever was a fit.
Yeah. So what do you say to the people that says that he was never given a chance, all those kind of things like that? I mean, I think personally that he just came into a bad situation. That's just me. But what do you say to those people that like always like, oh, he wasn't given a chance and they didn't get behind him and all that kind of stuff like that?
Because ain't nobody getting behind no bullshit.
That's it.
Like, he wasn't given the chance because I'm not feeling like, bro, like, yeah, think. All right, let's go back to the 90s. Ross Perot, third on the ballot, right? He never got a chance. There's one nobody finna sign up for no bullshit, man. Like, ain't nobody doing that, bro. I don't care nothing about that shit, man. Like, you wanna call spade a spade, like, you know what I mean? Like, for real, man. What nobody getting behind that? It's hard to get behind something like that. Man, he didn't want to recruit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, man, I got a voice now. Like, it's over with. I can say, boy, I've been holding on to this stuff. Like, hey.
Man, so like everything we heard about the not want to recruit, not want to do all that kind of stuff. I mean, we kind of figured all that was true. So I mean,
man,
I got
screenshots, I got receipts. Like, I know these folks, like, for sure.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And me going back and looking like, all right, he wants to run an operation like a CEO. That's fine. But man, like, you know, at the end of the day, the best companies are the ones like Delta, where they say the CEO will clean the toilet if he had to. Now, that's figuratively speaking. But when I interviewed at Delta, that's the type that, you know, they say that's the mentality. And that mentality wasn't there. It's like, you know, you can't be above calling a recruit. You can't be above visiting recruits. Like, you just heard too much about it, man. And you know, where we live and where we from in the Southeast region, you know, we believe in a lot of phrases and idioms, or however you want to call it. And where there's smoke, there's fire is one.
Right.
That is 1,000% reigning true in this area, because the things that we've heard, you're hearing more truth about it than not. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if 1,000% of everything that was said was true. Like, I don't know if he messed with that lady they said he was messing with. I don't know that. But what I do know is that he took exception to, I don't think being a top recruiter in the SEC was synonymous with being the best coach. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this though: where do they go from here? Are you? Myself personally, and I was talking about this on the last show that y'all can tune into on YouTube. Matter of fact, make sure you like and subscribe this video. But I was talking about this last show, man. I think it's time for Auburn to step outside the box and make a splash hire. How you feel about that?
So first of all, I know things different because they made a splash interim hire, and they made more splash firings today.
Yeah.
So I know if there's any time that Auburn would make a splash hire, it'll be now. So Cadillac Williams being the interim head coach, I think, spoke volumes into where Auburn is headed and their the ideology that they have going on right now. Because I never thought it'd be a day I saw a black head coach at Auburn,
right.
Interim or not.
He still got the title,
man. What? He's the first one.
Yep.
Period.
Oh wow. So Cadillac is the interim. He is the head coach at this moment.
Yeah.
At this moment, man, Cadillac is calling shots.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
that's huge.
It's huge. So if he goes out and goes, like, what happens if he goes 4-0? You know,
exactly.
So I mean, I don't know if he has the depth or the talent to beat Alabama in Alabama, but at the end of the day, if he was able to pull that off,
bro, Cadillac.
If Cadillac beat Alabama, bro, he's gonna be the head coach.
Come on, man.
He's gonna be the coach.
You can't take it away from him.
If he beats Bama, bro, if he goes 4-0 and beats Bama, they gonna hire that man.
Got to.
He probably gonna hire me.
I'll
be over there. And who the people is over there in the media, but they be like, hey, that Dukes and Scoop is up. Like, hey, but it'll look like Soul Plane on the planes.
Well, I'm talking about everybody. Everybody
put Auburn the Soul Planes.
Yeah, that'll be the day. But you gotta imagine though. I don't know if you ever listened to the Harsin podcast, and I listened to the part where how Cadillac was talking about like. I mean, he went in depth, man. And I was just like, dang, he sounds pretty good, like a coach. I see why kids like flock to him, and man, I can just hear him now. in
I
that
seen Lack, man.
in that
Tell you what I like
pregame
about
speech for
Lack.
Iron Bowl. Yeah, I can see him.
Let me tell you what I like. Let me tell you what I like about Lack, bro. And man, what I like about Lack is, man, Lack is gonna be Lack, bro. Like it ain't nothing. He ain't finna try to give you this scripted speech about somehow he don't feel or nothing, bro. He's gonna be authentically him.
Mm-hmm.
And his Auburn experience is authentically his. And he came, and there's no recruit that he can go recruit. There's nobody that he can't go talk to and say, bro, I was right here. Because go look at the rest of the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Zach Etheridge. You look at Will Friend. You look at the Boise guys that are gone. You look at Brian Harsin. Nobody could say they had the fanfare that came along in their recruitment that Cadillac did.
Mm.
How many number 5 picks on that roster? As far as coaching staff. Like, bro, I did this for real.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that goes a long way. And he uses that to his advantage in a way that's where his humility is being able to be showcased by the fact that his resume is public. It's not like a hidden thing that he was the number 5 pick. Not a hidden thing that he was probably the top running back in the country in 2001. Like, it's public knowledge. So all he has to do is point you in the direction you can see, and they're like, damn, you was like that, and you still acting humble like this. I like that guy. And but yeah, man, just it's a new day in Auburn, man. Something I never thought I ain't gonna lie, man. Like he's so soft spoken when he's supposed to be. Like when I say like some guys, take liberties based on their position, and he's not one of them guys. He just, hey, look, I'm cool, and y'all go ahead on.
Mm-hmm.
Even and on some inside type stuff, man. They had people that thought they were getting their job, and Lack was always the one that was kind of like, man, they give it who they give it to. As long as I'm here, I ain't tripping. And that's what kind of impressed me about him getting the job was that for once the good guy won.
Do you think that he was surprised by he was getting a job?
I wouldn't say surprised, but I would say pleasantly. He was surprised. That shit.
Yeah,
a little surprised.
Because the thing was, I hate to say it, I thought they were gonna give it to Zach.
Everybody thought it was gonna hit to Zach. Everybody like, so a lot of folks thought it was gonna be Zach or Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of folks didn't think it was gonna be Lack, man. Because I mean, if you look at him, man, how often do you see Lack?
This is it,
right?
How have you seen him? You see him when you're supposed to see him, but outside of that, man, it's not gonna be a whole lot of. I mean, he go do his thing, he go back in the shadows, handle his business like that. But when I tell you, as far as what I've heard from players about the reception that he got when he was announced, man, they said you would have thought he was on that that first play in 2003 in the Iron Bowl. That's how they was going off. Like, yo, I mean, man, like folks, like, you know what I'm saying? Like folks fuck with that, man. Like I do. Like you're a good guy, man. Like I've been knowing him a long time. And I like Zach too. Like Zach a good person, bro.
Yeah,
like,
great guy.
Like Zach, like Zach hard. Like, but you know what I'm saying, as far as like an ambassador for Auburn University who embodies everything from head to toe as far as being the most successful Auburn man you can be. Yeah. Like I mean, man. That whole process today spoke volumes into where Auburn is finna go. Like, hey, boy, what the hell happened today, man? Them folks fired Keesaw, Harsin, Badell, Albee, damn, the Eagle, like Miss Charlene over there at Fort Union. Golly, boy, it's a new Albee.
Yeah,
the Albee y'all see next week. He'll new one, but I guarantee you got some new moves, boy.
Hey, that leads me into my next question. With all that was going on, of course, we won't lack going 4-0. We won't lack going 4-0.
Sure.
But who do you see possibly, if not Cornell, who that Auburn is actually going after? Who you think in your mind? No. Just where you think we're gonna go?
Man, I think Hugh Freeze is probably the most logical answer in my mind. Who makes sense for the coach and, for the athletic director for his first hire. being the guy who believes in second chances, maybe a more liberal guy than we've seen in that role. Yeah, I can see it being Hugh Freeze, Lane Kiffin. But as you know, like when it comes to Auburn, like the guys who you think it is 99% of the time never gonna be them. And I don't give a damn if you go back to Petrino.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like nobody thought Harsin was getting this job 2 years ago. We was all on the scene then.
Mm-hmm.
Harsin was like a name that came out the blue, bro. Like,
yeah,
I remember when Gus got the job. You know who everybody was talking about? Turner Gill.
Turner Gill.
Yeah.
When Gus got the job, everybody wanted Turner Gill, right?
Right.
When Chizzy got the job, it was even crazier then.
It was
like,
yeah.
Who was the man back then? I can't remember. I can't even call it. It wasn't the damn show wasn't no 5 and 19, 5 and 19, or 5 and 24. Damn, from Iowa State. It wasn't.
I'm trying to remember. It was a I can't remember. I think it was some offensive coordinator we were trying to get. I can't remember. Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of folks that was ahead of Gene Chizik. But
Right.
I mean, to be the quiet as it kept, that wasn't a good hire. He did win a national championship, but Cam was the lightning in the ball that everybody wanted, and so that happened. But
let me ask y'all something. I know. Would you trade out a national championship next year to be sorry for 8 years? That ain't sorry.
No.
Would you trade out a national championship next year, a guaranteed natty, to go 8-4 for the next 5 years?
8-4.
That's a different story. You said to be sorry.
I made it different.
If we get a national championship next year and 8-4, that'll sting. It depends who the 8-4 we lose to, but I'd rather us have some.
Go
so
1-3.
You talking about beating Bama
against
8-4, or you just saying straight up 8-4? Like, are we losing to Bama or are they beating Bama?
So let's say if it was 4 years, then you're losing to Bama 3 years out of the 4.
Ooh,
true.
But you get a natty next year.
Well, that coach keep his job. Ain't that something?
Man,
keep his job.
That's hard, man. That's
like almost. It's almost. I mean, to be honest with you, it's almost like Gus.
Right?
Don't think Gus did do with winning the national championship, and he had that in the bag. He actually out-coached himself.
If Kerryon Johnson didn't get hurt 2017, he had that championship.
Yep. I mean, it was ready for him.
Oh, that was the year he went to the conference, to the SEC championship, right?
Yeah, for SEC championship. But if Kerryon Johnson doesn't get hurt,
that was Alabama, Georgia, right?
No,
yes.
the Georgia, Auburn had to beat Georgia twice that year.
I'm saying national championship. It was Alabama, Georgia.
It was Alabama, Georgia.
Yes. I think so.
That was that trash.
Vontae Smith.
Yeah, that was it. Yes. To answer your question, man, I don't know. I'm gonna say yes.
I don't know, man. I couldn't
consider being 8-4 though. It's like 8-4. Like you can't be.
But see, here's the thing: if you win a national championship,
right,
and you go 8-4 the next 4 years, you're still at that stability of like, oh, dang, man, we can't get over the hump. Yeah, I mean,
that ain't gonna fly in Alabama.
If it's 8-4, then if it's 8-4 for 1 year, then go 10-2, and then go another 9-3.
Man, it's 8-4 every year. The next
8-4. Nah, I can't do it, man. I can't.
That's tough,
fly. The only way it flies is if you beat Bama 3 out of 4.
Yeah, you got to leave 2 out of 4. You got to beat Bama.
I said one out. One, like, no, you only get one on.
I guess you can say the answer is no. Then
I'm taking it. You know why? Because think about this. When last time Auburn won that championship?
2010.
How many years has it been?
20 or 10.
12.
All right. And before that, when the last time?
40, 50, on paper, 40, 50 years ago. Yeah.
Boy, you better give me that natty and stop playing with me, man. We ain't got it like that.
Okay, I got you. But speaking of the natty, speaking of the natty,
man, bird in the hand worth 2 in the bushes. Boy, it might be 95 in the bushes. You better give me that bird in the hand.
Is Cohen the guy as the AD to get them back to that national championship level?
Absolutely. Cohen gonna do it.
I think he is too.
What is so special about him?
Man, Cohen bucking already. Like Cohen, like, all right, look. He's bucking already. He don't care. Man, boy, what was the last time you got this much shit going on in Auburn in one day, man? These folks tripping.
Man, hard, bro.
And that's
Man.
hard to get a lot of stuff in Auburn in one day because there's a lot always going on in Auburn.
Hey, hold up. Man, Cadillac is the interim. Think about that now.
It could have, like I said, they took a different approach on this one.
They're gonna take a different approach the whole way.
You
Man,
can't
look,
stop it now.
If ain't nobody, if one, like, let me tell you something, and this is my true thought. Couldn't know if anybody hires Deion in Auburn, it'll be this guy.
And look, let me tell you, somebody made a very interesting comment on Twitter. Somebody said, no pun intended, but Cadillac runs so Cadillac walks so Deion could run.
Man, sound familiar, don't it?
I mean,
that's interesting, man. Like, for real.
I think, you know what I'm saying, like, when it come down to it, like, Cohen gonna hire somebody, like, if you notice what he does, man, he's not status quo. He's gonna hire the guy he thinks is best for the job, and then if you're not doing the job, he's gonna let you go. And they say he's a guy that's gonna ruffle feathers, and he really ain't caring about your emotions because he got one objective, and that's to win. Exactly. And if you look at the baseball teams that he put together at Mississippi State, like him and Butch Thompson, super tight. You know what I'm saying? They
he put out a statement too.
Yeah, and like Thompson wouldn't have got the Auburn job without Cohen. So Cohen stood on the table for him. That's important. I like that winning type attitude. And if you know, like, you don't think about it, like Cohen's coaching tree has been successful.
So, who are the leading coaching replacements?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. Like, a lot of people like to speak with authority on that type of stuff, but them the same people who said, like, who basically said Hartwell had the job and there was going to be McGlenn and all this type of stuff. Like, bro, let me tell you who know. John Cohen.
Right. We said the same thing earlier today.
Man, that's who know. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can sit up here and speculate who we think, which is a better question. But as far as leading the leading candidates in my mind, Kiffin, they say Matt Rule, they said, I mean, you name it. I hope Deion, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, man, nobody know but
do you really hope Deion though?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, that's my
boy.
That's my home run hit. If it ain't Kiffin, that's my home run.
So let me tell you something, man. Ain't nobody finna out recruit him at Auburn.
Nobody.
At Auburn,
we can do a whole show. That's not that topic right there.
Ain't nobody finna out recruit him. Man, look, let me say something. I got some partners of mine I went to school with that are head coaches at high schools with a lot of D1 recruits, and they don't like how Deion recruit. And
really?
Yeah. I ain't like everything ain't peaches and cream. Like, you know, this folks got a lot to say, man. But then at the end of the day, man, you don't like how he recruit because let me tell you something. It's an old saying that say you're never supposed to meet your heroes. Right? Because if they don't do what you said you're gonna do, you're gonna look at all the heroic stuff like it wasn't heroic because of how you feel. So at the end of the day, it's like, all right, so you meet your hero, like now he can't coach because he didn't sign your t-shirt. All right, like, nah, man. Look, man, the man just got the number one player in the country to go to Jackson State, my boy.
And that's exactly the reason why I do not want him. That's why I say we could do a whole other show.
You don't want him?
No, I mean,
I want him to go Power 5 because I feel like that is chopping the head off the snake of what could be.
At where?
Jackson State.
At HBCUs, meaning like you taking the top dog that can get the boys, that can get the guys, that can get those 5-star. Okay, so you're gonna chop off the head. You're gonna bring the guy that can get those guys, but at the same time, if he was still at where he was, he could pluck a couple. He ain't gonna get all of them. Don't get me wrong, but he can get enough to where eyebrows are now raised. Like you just said, he got a Power 5 guy. He got a 5-star guy, right?
Right. Yeah, the 5-star guy.
The 5-star guy. So he got him to come to Jackson State. So if he stays at Jackson State, how many more of those guys that he can get? So let me do whatever we can do to get him out of that, to bring him back into the Power 5 realm. So that's a whole nother discussion for a whole
that's a whole nother discussion.
We can go a whole lot deeper than that, but that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, no, I think Deion. I mean, it's gonna be like I'm just watching him like right now. Like it's hard. It's gonna be like, man, the man took college game day to Jackson State, bro. Boombox Classic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean,
like, man, come on, bro. What you gonna think What you think he gonna do at the Iron Bowl versus Nick Saban?
I guess what I'm saying is this, though. How would I really look at? I ain't trying to go in this discussion, but how would I really look at Deion, though? I mean, like,
you are a 5-star recruit
from a cultural standpoint.
You are a 5-star recruit.
Me, from a cultural standpoint,
they ain't got nothing to do with winning games at Auburn.
Correct, but I hear you, but I disagree. Well, no, I don't disagree, but I hear you. But what I can say is that, man, it's a whole nother show.
Yeah, it's a whole nother
show, and I don't want to go too deep. But I guess
I ain't mad at that. But look, y'all asked me about Auburn. What's good for Auburn? I'm telling you, like, man, look, I know how it's gonna be. It may not be good for the culture. It may not be good, but but you got to think, man. If you look at out, like, and y'all gonna know this better than me, but all I'm gonna know is some of the bigger names. But man, fam, you been rolling, right? My boy been throwing that ball around a long time. South Carolina State holding that down already. Like, you got guys like Derek, like, saying Shaq Leonard is as big as an ambassador for HBCUs as a lot of players, but nobody's been bigger than Deion at this point. But Deion went to HBCUs out of necessity because nobody would gave him a chance.
But Deion at the same time he's a celebrity within his own right.
Mm-hmm.
He is decent. No, excuse me. Oh, my bad.
You good?
Yeah. I mean, he's equivalent to Magic Johnson coming to Jackson State and coaching the basketball team.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness! Now we didn't got into Magic Johnson. So back on. Let's pull it back into the Auburn standpoint of what we got our boy on for. Hey, so I see smooth sailing, brighter days coming ahead with President Roberts. And the fact with John Cohen coming in, man. So I just think hey, sometimes you got to clean house and you got to do a good thing.
Man, look, you know what I like about how they did it today. They ain't keep nobody waiting. They figured that shit out and they got it up out of there. How they did it last time when they got rid of Gardner and T. Will and Hudson and all that. Not Hudson, the other Kobe.
Steele, not Steele, but
what's that boy name?
The DB
Cody Burns.
Cody Burns, yeah.
Cody, I said Kobe. Cody Burns, yeah. Like the way they handle them situations, man. Like, them folks didn't even get no interview with the head coach. No.
Yeah.
Zero. Like, that's and you get an interview and you get fired after 2-3 weeks. Let me know that you weren't prepared to do that. And I get it though, because they had never done that. So a lot of that, I do feel like they were put in a situation to fail. Well, let me say this. They were put in a situation to succeed, but if you weren't a type of person, you were going to fail regardless. In that situation, you would have had to be a certain type of person to be successful. And that percentage of people it is in the world is probably under 20. So you would have had to been an extremely exceptional person to succeed in that type of environment, and they didn't have that type of guy.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting going down the next month or so in the coming weeks for Auburn University, man. But
boy, it's November.
Bro, I know.
Golly.
I know it's November now. But
so
hey, Dukes, tell them where they can find you at on social media, man.
About another month. So
man, Auburn might have a coach, man. Look, so first of all, you can find me at newauburncoach.com. I'm just playing. And catch me at Dukes D Scoop and at Dukes D Scoop Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
So man, hey, it's like and subscribe to my YouTube page too, Dukes D Scoop, the Casual Flex Podcast, and make sure You go,
Please
check out my boys, man. Down South Football Podcast, man. It's like my favorite thing. Come on.
appreciate
man,
you, dude. Appreciate you, brother.
it, man. Once again, we got
So,
Mr. Auburn Undercover, 247 Sports. We got Phillip Dukes in the building, man, and we appreciate him coming through, man. Hey, what's up? Didn't you have one more question? Didn't you say? Didn't you have one more question about Auburn hiring a head coach within a month? That what you said?
No, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a month. The Auburn will have a head coach in about a month. That's all. I'm making a statement. They're the silent period. They gotta have somebody in a month. So
I hope so, man. I hope so.
I hope they don't drag this thing.
You know what? Let me tell you something. This dude finna get to it. You know how I know why? Because they know that we didn't sign a single player at the last signing day.
There you go.
So they
know
on
the second signing day that we didn't sign that one single player.
Don't, and I'm gonna say, I'm going on the record saying this. If they don't, I'm going to get my PhD from UGA. I ain't putting up no motherfucking toxic relationship no more, man.
At all.
You know what? I might go get my shit from Jackson State. Fuck them folks. So if they got it, I'm going.
I'm trying to say that's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
My boy Dad, I knew he would jump on that.
You know he would, man. But look, man, we appreciate Phillip for coming through, man. But once again, we got at Down South Football Podcast. Like, subscribe on YouTube, man. Hit our boy up, man. Deuce the Scoop. Once again, let us know the latest going on at Auburn, man. Make sure y'all check us out, man. If nothing else, man, we out, man. We'll see y'all in a couple of days, man. We'll holler at you.
All right, so.